Hi everyone. So last week we've done some of the one of the first challenge in the enterprise DNA website. So it was on the link on my previous video. So next, let's see what are they offering for the second challenge. So for the second challenge, it was for the customer insight. So let's see what's the overview of the challenge. So the so what we have here is um, you are an analyst working closely with the customer team. So the customer engagement manager, Janet, has just returned from a meeting and has given two datasets. One contains customer sales information and the other is the customer engagement information. Janet's now looking for you to produce a report that looks at both datasets and give us some insights into customer behavior. So she is not sure if there is a correlation between the sales and the engagement that the marketing is doing, but would like to know either way. There is a 1 year worth of data taken from both system. The ball is now in your court and you need to find a way presenting this data back to Janet and the team. So what we can do is first download the dataset. So I've already downloaded the dataset and I'll show you later. But let's see now what are the available dashboard that has been shown or won from the challenge. So first, we have this one from Brian J. So he created this technical dashboard. The reason why I said it was technical because I think he uses some additional information like let's just zoom it out first. So I've checked what has been done. I've tried to analyze what has been done on this first or dashboard who won the challenge. So he have this open and click through rate comparing with the other industry. So what was the average industry click through and open rate for those that are related to the industry of the datasets that has been shared, those industry that is not related to the dataset that has been shared, all industry, average, and the company. So this is the uh, company click-through rate and open rate. It's too high and it's a outlier. So I didn't know or I didn't have all the information about the average click-through rate and open rate for other industries. So I skipped this dashboard, and also he uses some either R or Python for this analysis, especially this one. I think it's from R, and we won't go too technical for this video. So let's see what else is has been showed or published on their website. So this one, it's just, I think it's basic information. So we have the sales, total customers, total email send, and the daily sales trend comparison, um, top customers by sales, a product, and date where they best, the highest date where they sell the most. The growth, I think it's uh, easy to replicate, but let's see the others. Same with this one. It's just a basic card chart, card visuals, and this one, and line charts, daily trend, and the top. customer sales, and other. So what struck me is this next one. So I think this one is visually appealing, especially this one. When I tried to investigate what has been done on this one, I tried the sunburst visual, but I didn't think it's possible. So let's see what we can do later for this one. So I've choose this one to be replicated on this video. So as you can see, or if you've watched my previous videos, so what I'm doing for the graphics and design is by using PowerPoint. So for now, since it's this almost the same from the previous dashboard that we created from the first challenge, let's just reuse those elements. Let's just maximize this one and do some screenshot of these elements. So not all elements will be done in PowerPoint. So I also need the header. So let's just, okay. Insert some new slide. So if you are already familiar with how to design this kind of visual, you can skip the video. I will put the timeline for the next topic on the description below. So for you to have those this capsule like um this one, the capsule like color for the oval shape where they have different colors on each side, you can use this approach. Mm. I think we're good. Let's just save it, each element. So again, you can skip this and see you on the next topic. Where is it? Let's see. Let's reopen it. It's not saving. Okay. So I'm just having some trouble saving those elements from PowerPoint as PNG. So let's go now first with the actual data. So these are the two data sets that we have. We have the customer sales for 2019, January to December, and the customer engagement for 2019 also. So we have here on the customer sales table, we have here the date, customer ID, customer name, the product ID, product, and the actual sales value. For the customer engagement, we have the date, the ID, customer name, what action have been done for the engagement. So if a customer received it, it will be true. If he or she opened it, it will be true. And if they click the email, it will be true also. So these are only the data that has been shared. So what we can do here is to load it in Power BI. So let's start by getting those data to Power BI. Let me just check if we are recording. Okay, so let's get these two tables, but before we load it, let's see it first. So now we have this data sets. So let's check if um, they've had the data type correctly detected by Power BI. So it's date, anything else, any element that we need, the total sales. So it should be whole number or decimal. Then the customer email. So it will be true or false for this three. The date is also date. But since we have duplicates over here, so we can see if we filter out customer number one, so we have a lot of transactions for that specific customer. So we don't have a customer table. So what we can do is duplicate this one and remove the other elements except for the ID and the customer name. Then what we can do here is right click, then remove duplicates. Then you can do sorting if you want. Now we have all the unique customers and customer ID as our customer information. So do rename it as customer information. So once done, we can now load the data. Now we have the data of the three tables that we had. So automatically Power BI detects the relationship between the three tables. So the customer information that we've had. So as you can see, these are the unique values. That's why it's one to many relationship. So since I can't load what I've done in PowerPoint, so let's just recreate it in Power BI. Let's see what Power BI has to offer on the recent update. So this is the latest Power BI as of July. So let's just insert some shapes or the background color. So let's see what's the color. Let's get the hex. And let's bring it down to 0. Now what else? This element. So we can't load this. Some sort of visuals in there in Power BI. So let's see what we can do. So since we are laying it out again, so you can skip also this one if you want. What else? Yes. Consulting. Okay, what else? This one. Let's drag it down here so that we all have a pattern. Oh no. So let's do as it is. Okay, now we can start the analysis. So first, what we need was the KPIs on this part. So we need this one, this KPIs. But the problem here is um, the author of this dashboard, um, what to call that, categorize all the information between good, not okay, okay, and top. For example, this is the customer information. So they reclassify the customer information as top, good, not okay, and okay. So currently, uh, we don't know how they use those categorization by customers. So what we can do also on this one, we have here this open clicks, delivered and bounced, which also this one, I believe. So as you can see, those graphs compose the same as this. And same with this information sales. So they also classified as a top, not okay, good, and okay, which we can't classify as we don't have the um, conditions for it. Same with this one. I don't know how. they reclassify it. So what we can do is just change it to what I see as KPIs or measures that Janet needs for this kind of dashboard. So what we can add is the total current sales, total number of customers, um, categorized by product, sales by product, and the top customers and top products. So we'll replace it with those KPIs. So let's first create a measure table so that we have a clean and grouped measures. So you don't need to use, you don't need to link this table to the others. Okay, measure table instead. So we'll first create the total sales. And we'll use a card visual. So currently they are at 5 million total sales. So we can, so we'll have this one, then total number of customers. So since we already have the customer information, we can just drag down the distinct count of ID in here. So we have 263 customers. What else? So we can do some sales by product. It's almost equally divided. So it's not visually appealing using donut chart where we can do this one instead. Then we can have the top 5 customers. Customer names by sales. Let's format the sales to comma delimited. And then we can filter it out as only the top 5 customers. Top 5 by sales value. So we have those, or we can, no, I think a table is more, then we'll remove the total. Okay. Then maybe the product. So remove this one and replace it by product. So now we have those elements. So this is where they are getting most of their revenues. from networking, financial reporting, web design, Power BI consulting, and Azure consulting. So let's redesign these elements. And okay, then this one. To remove the title since it's already um, available on the actual title. So that we'll remove the title of the axis and maybe just remove the x-axis and replace it by data labels. So that will have the actual value. Although it's quite redundant because of this one. So we can remove also this one and just replace it by this top customers and top products. Maybe we can make it a little smaller so that we'll have some rooms for the other visuals. We'll remove the background. Then let's see. Font is white and the background is same with this one. Okay. So for now, we'll just have it this way for the meantime. So let's see if we can add others um, while we are doing this. So the next element will be this beautiful four circle visuals. So as I mentioned earlier, I tried using sunburst visual, but it doesn't give me this kind of look. So what I tried or what I um, thought of is by using a simple donut chart. So by using this one, what we can do is, how do we classify first which engagement are classified as bounce, delivered, open, and clicks. So how do we do that? So first, let's see the table. So these are the engagement. So if link click is false, is true, then it can be classified as clicks. Then if email is open, it should be open. Receive is delivered, and all if all of these are false, it should be bounced. So what we can do first is to conditional use an if analysis for each rows. So let's do engagement type. So equals if was the first one click is equals to true, then it's click. Then if open is equals to true, then it's open. Then next one is if receive is equals to true, then it's deliver. Then all other else, if all are false, it should be bounce. Now let's check if we did the right thing. So first, let's check the bounds. So shouldn't have the true condition here for all the rows. So we're good. Then the next one is clicks. So all of this should be true. Okay. So regardless of what other elements in this field, we're good. The next one is deliver, open. So either true or false, false, I mean, then it should be true only and true also. Then the last one is deliver. So all else on this two should be false. Yes, false. And this should only be true. Okay. So I think we're good. So how do we do each classification? The first outer circle is the bounds. So this 50.02 is the bounds. So how do we do that? If we only if we do those count uh, if we put the values here and we put the legends here, it will show this kind of visual, not specifically for bounds only. But if we filter this one out only for bounds, it will show 100%. So how do we do that classification showing only the bounce engagement percentage out of the whole um, total number of engagement? So what we can do is remove this one and create a measure. So how do we know the percentage of bounce from the total? So we'll divide it. Bounce is, we'll divide it by the total number of engagement versus those who are only classified as bounce. So calculate the count of ID customer email ID, wherein the engagement type is equals to bounce. Okay, should be only one. What? Calculate count of customer. Okay, versus I forgot the denominator. Versus the count of ID. It's the total number of engagement. But if we put this one in the values, it's 100%. Let's format it by percentage. It's 50.33, but still it's a full graph. So what we can do is add another measure. So what measure should we add to get the difference between the percentage of bounce to the others? So we'll just have the negative percentage or the whole minus the bounce, percentage of bounce. So now it will show you both elements. So currently, the percentage of bounce from the original one was around 50%. So this is the bounce. Let's have it interchange. It's 50%. So how do we check that? So let's duplicate this one. And bring back the donut chart that we've had a while ago. So it's 50.33 for the bounce. So we're good. Then let's lay it out. So we'll remove those legend and details. We'll do that later. So now we have this. So it's a new update where you can adjust the size of the donut, the hole in the middle. So we'll try 80. Then we'll remove the title and the background. So let's just resize it. I think it's too large. Okay. So we'll do that for the rest of the other engagement time. So what's the next category? It's the open. So we'll duplicate this one and copy this to create another measure. Oops. I forgot. So instead of bounds, we'll choose open. Okay. I should have renamed it first. And then same for this one. So it's 1 minus the percentage of open. So minus percentage open is equals to 1 minus open. And we'll format it as percentage, both. Then we'll replace this one. Let's remove. Now we have the open. Uh, is it? What's the next category? It's bounce, a link click. It should be the link. The clicks. So let's have it around here for the meantime. The bounce was those engagement with all the false boolean. So I should have added the clicks first. So let's copy again this one. This is clicks. Minus percentage clicks. Then percentage format. So let's replace it with clicks. 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 So how much is the clicks? It's around 12.4. The same. And the open is 12.14. Okay. So we'll just resize it. Let's put it in the middle and resize it. Okay. So you'll just remember that you need uh, the positive element or the actual value in the first order of the values, and the negative one will be the next one, so that you'll have a constant line on this. So So this will be the actual numbers, and this will be faded out later. So we'll do the same for this one. Although what I've been struggling is how to make those um, shaped with the same size. So you can comment down below if you know some tricks on how we can do resizing, but we can have those um, actual width option here as far as I know. So we can resize some of it so that it will partially fit. Maybe reduce it to 70. Is it the same? I'm not sure. Let's see. Then this might be 60. Is it the same size? Not sure also, but we still need one more for the delivered. So I think it's too small. Let's try it out. It's deliver. So now we already have those four, 4 circles. As you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need to add the labels and some color formatting. So first, let's choose this one. It's the bounds. It's easier to select by this selection pane. So, so let's have the color. Where's my PowerPoint? So what are the colors that we are looking for? Mm, the bound should be this color. So let's check. Then for the others without the data, it should be this one. This is the other one. Then the next circle will be Is it this one? Delivered. Mm, It's bounce. Deliver. Open. Then click. What's the chronological order? So the next one is delivered. What? I missed those. So the inner circle should be the clicks. I did it wrong. Bounce. Delivered. Open then clicks. Sorry about the order. So let's just change. So what's the largest circle? It's the clicks. So instead of realigning them again, we'll just change this. Deliver and remove this too. So the deliver should be uh, this one. Then the next one will be clicks. Open. Open. So what's the color of that? Then the last one was clicks. Clicks. Now we have those charts. Now we'll add the labels. Nope, it should be this one. First is bounce. and change it to white. Is it okay? Next should be, what's the next? Deliver. Then when it was delivered, then open. The last one is clicks. These are clicks, open. Okay, I think we're good. But the problem with this chart is if you can see, what's blue? 12.14 and 12.4. Open, which is, let's add the labels first so that you can see the difference. We'll select this one and let's group it. And name it donuts. I forgot to remove the line. So let's remove the outline. Then we'll vertically distribute this. Next, we'll have the labels. So it's bounce. Mm, I forgot to include this on the groupings. Let's realign it again. So what are those? This 4 should be Let's drag it inside the, oh, you can drag it. It should be up. Let's see. Okay. Now it's part of the group, so you can move it around. Bounce with the numbers. So that's the problem. I should have added the total bounce as a different measure. Bounce is this is 12. Let's have this on 14, maybe 16. Then let's add the others. What else? Deliver open and clicks. Open. Clicks. Mm. Let's add some pre-naming so that it will be grouped the same as what we had from the above. Let's have something like total. It's more of just organizing your measures so that when you get back to it, you will have, and you can easily determine which measures and group of measures have you used them, or what is the purpose of that measures. Don't worry about the alignment for the meantime. Let's have it adjusted later. So next is deliver, then open and clicks. Align it to the left, then have it distributed also. Next is discard. 2, 3. So now we'll need to group them also. So these are the donut labels. Legends, I mean, legends. So now we have those elements, then we'll just need to copy the background. And this one. And both this should be behind those groups. So let's arrange. Maybe I'm short of space again later. It's too large. The advantage of grouping is Power BI automatically distributed between the space that you've um, between the spaces of this group. That's why when you click it a while ago, they're compressing with each other. Yeah, I did it too large again. Anyway, so we'll add some room again and adjust the page size because it's harder to adjust it again one by one. We'll just waste some time. We'll just add the um, adjust the page size later. And add some more room here. So it's easier to drag those elements if you have those grouping assigned. As you can see, you don't need to select each element one by one again. Okay, I think we're good. But the thing that I mentioned a while ago is, if you can see, if you do this kind of chart, um, some of this data might be misleading. For example, this two, these are both 12% with just minimal decimal difference. But if you can see here with the area, you will see, you would think initially that this one open is larger than the clicks. Wherein on the actual data, the clicks is larger than the open. So we need to be careful of using this kind of charts. They need to be proportioned with each other. So I think this is not a good way of visualizing these kinds of um, funnel. What we can do is use this instead. So he should have to use this for uh, my personal preference. So let's have the engagement type and the values here. So as you can see, this is the funnel which is part of the engagement. So first is the bounce, or the total emails that has rejected all your emails. So next is delivers, but this should be interchanged. So the next stage should be open and clicks. So how do we manage to arrange it? So we'll add a new table for the engagement type sorting. So the first stage should be bounce, which is we'll sort it as number one, then deliver, email was delivered. The next one should be, will the customer or your prospect customer open it? And does your prospect customer clicks the link on your email? So this is the engagement stages. Okay, once created, we'll need to link the new table that we had to the engagement type here. Then once linked, we need to go to the table that we've created, then have it sorted by the sort number. So in default, Power BI is sorting it out by alphabetically. But in this case, it is sorted by the number of items in each category, as you can see here. So we'll change this engagement type on the new table that we've created. But as you can see, none has been changed yet. What we can do is sort it by the engagement type and this ascending. So as you can see, bounce, deliver, and open, then clicks. So this should have been a better way of visualizing the engagement stages. But this video is about replicating what has been done by those by who created this one. It doesn't show, but I think Walter again, because The pattern is the same from what we've had on the previous video. The colors are also the same. So I think Walter also did this. But anyway, this is still a good visual. So let's delete this one for now. The next one is the daily tracker. So what was included on the daily tracker? Um, it's also these stages, and it's visualized as this bar chart, stock bar chart. Then let's have the date as the axis. So let's remove the hierarchy and put in a date. Then count of the IDs. Then the legend should be, let's have it sorted by, what default sort is latest to, okay. Then for the legend, we will use this one so that the first stage should be bounce. So we are measuring, I think we should be measuring the clicks instead of the bounce. So what we can do is, oh, so currently the default stage here is bounce. Since we don't have the funnel chart, we'll interchange those sorting because I can't seem to sort the legends here. Because in marketing, I think what really needs to be measured in here, which is where we have the common axis, is the number of clicks, because it's the one that drives the customers to buy your product or purchase your services. So what we can do is interchange the sort on our table. So 4, 3, So we'll prioritize the clicks instead of the number of emails that has bounced. Now we can see those bounds as the primary axis for this visual. But still, it's hard to compare. How do we compare this one? So I think what should have been done was use this 100% stack bar chart for you to see the difference in how the clicks, percentage of the number of clicks, daily clicks, compared to the others. Still too much noise, but I think this is a better way of visualizing it rather than this stack bar chart. So we have the trend of those high number of emails. But if we are comparing, it depends on the usage. If we are comparing the percentage of each stages daily in a daily basis, we'll use this one. But if we are comparing based on the number of instances, then we can use this one. Since we are replicating, we'll use this one. But we'll change first the colors. So clicks is the same, violet. Open should be blue. What blue is used? This one. Then deliver is this. And bounce is violet. Is it the same violet? Mhm. Okay. Then we will remove the legends because we already have the colors here. And the x-axis, I think. Oh, so it's 100% stock bar chart. Sorry, I didn't notice it. Let's double check it. Okay, so use this one. But I think he exclude the bounds. So we'll filter out the bounds. Now we have those elements only. Same on what we've done. He prioritized the number of clicks instead of the number of bounce email. So I think we're good on this. Let's remove some of the elements. What else? Title. Now we have a clean graph here. Ah, start to control. And then we'll copy some labels here. To make sure it's in the middle, we'll just have the width the same as the element, the visual. Engagement journey. Next will be the sales performance. Now it's getting too tight here. So how do we get the cumulative sales performance? It's by using total year-to-date measure. Total sales dates should be from the sales table. Then all in customer sales. Then cumulative sales and last month. Is it last month, the LM? Not sure what the LM means, this one. If you can see. But if it's last month, then how do we get the total year to date based on the previous month or 1 month behind? So let's copy this one. Year to date sales last month. Instead of just dates, we'll have previous month, then the dates. So to check that one, we can create a table here. Then the dates, we'll just need the year and the month. But since it's just 1 month, then again, the month can, 1 year, the month will suffice. But just to be sure, we'll need the total sales. These are the actual monthly sales. Let's format it by comma. Same with this too. So first is the year-to-date sales or the cumulative sales. So it will just add up every month for this fiscal year. And the year-to-date last month should be based on the previous month. So this. Then if you want to see the difference, then we'll add the difference. So it will be variance equals YTD versus LM. Then we'll now have the variance. Then for us to know the monthly growth of our sales, so what we can do is had a new measure for um, monthly growth percentage. So it will be the variance divide variance and the last month's year-to-date sales. Then we'll have it as percentage. This one. So it almost doubled up on the first month or the second month of this year. Hmm. I think I made it should be based on the previous month's sales, not the year-to-date sales. That's why it's this. Let's add the previous month's total sales. Where's that? So let's add some calculation. Total sales last month is calculate total sales, and the filter will be previous month date. Let's see. No. So let's add some filter, or no, should be the add date, then number of intervals will be -1 month. What? Why does it show this one? It's the previous year-to-date sales. Why is it showing those instead of the total sales? Let's add a different function. Oh, no, no. Date. Oh, it's still showing that one. Let's see what is happening. So currently it was picking up the previous month's year-to-date sales. So, but we needed the monthly sales, previous monthly sales. So it should be 4244 for December. So I just remember, I think it should be previous month again, but instead of simply the customer date, we'll add the that date. Let's see if it will work out. Okay, now we've already got what we needed. So now we will adjust the monthly growth calculation. So instead of the year-to-date sales, we'll add the last month's total sales. This is the monthly growth based on the previous month. So I'll just show you different calculations with regards to um, analyzing the sales. But in this visual, we only need the cumulative sales, which is the year-to-date sales and the last month's year-to-date sales. We'll check this one out for a bit. So we'll add the date, sales date, oops, and the year-to-date sales. Then we'll choose this area chart. So currently, as we can see, it has almost the same progression, almost around 400,000 monthly sales. So that's why it's a smooth line. And we can also add the last month's year to date. But as you can see, it doesn't smooth it out. So we'll just remove it for now. Also, I didn't understand why it's almost the same cumulative sales for this month and the previous month. There's no way it will be break even because as we can see, we have almost the same gap or growth in sales every month. So for the meantime, we'll retain the cumulative sales for now. But for this chart, for this calculations that we've had before, you can also do this waterfall chart, which is based on the date, monthly. You can do monthly, then the variance. So you can see it's a smooth line of accumulative sales also. So we can do either this one or this one. Oh, I think I've done wrong again. Okay, I think it's good. But let's see. So the variance that we've had here was the variance from year to date. So it's the same as, it doesn't have any difference because it's the same as the total sales. That's not what it should be used for. So it should be the total sales minus the last month. So, and this is the growth. So as you can see here, February sales is much lower than the previous month. So if we want to compare the um, monthly growth, it should have been the comparison between those two. Yes, I think that's what it should be. So now it's correct now. So in February, we've de- decreased around 11.31% from previous month sales. Now it makes sense. Then then it increased again of 12, so and so forth. Now I think this will be a better visualization rather than the cumulative sales because it's a smooth track upward. Although I don't know what you prefer, but you can comment down below what you think should have been a better way to um, express or visualize the current sales figures here. And generally, for this year, we've had an increase, a cumulative increase of around 400 something thousand. So let's delete this for now, and we will use what we've had based on the graph or the dashboard that we are replicating. So we'll need to adjust this. Then the grid lines. Let's remove those grid lines. Then we'll have it in front. Let's just add some formatting here. And this is the sales performance. Oh, I forgot to add the header customer segment. Maybe mm, for now, let's use measures here or key key metrics. Now for the last two, let's adjust first the height because we ran out of space here. Let's add additional space. So we'll add some key metrics later so that we can populate some vacant spaces here. And let's remove this and let's use this one. 30-day rolling trend. As per thinking, I didn't understand what the metrics is conveying, or I don't know what's the usage or how to interpret this one. But you can guide me also if you know how to interpret this. But I think he uses the customer engagement, number of customer engagement for the average 30 days. But what I believe uh, that will um, matter more or make better visual or representation of how the engagement affects the sales. Why is this have those white border? Okay, it's gone now. Is I've been thinking for a few moments a while ago. on how to interpret that, but I can't think of any. But if you know how to interpret this, and how do you think it will explain the the com- the correlation between the customer engagement and the total sales, please comment down below and also help me with this. But for now, what I think um, I will do is, let's see. So what we need is to compare the total sales, maybe sales value, versus maybe the total number of engagement. Oh, let's check if we have the connection. We have the connection. We already have the trend here. So I think we don't need another trend. What we can do is compare it by the number of, by customer instead. So in the customer information, so these are the cumulative sales. We'll make it in focus mode for the meantime. So currently, Justin Butler has the highest total purchases of sales or services for the year 2019. So how do we compare the growth in sales for this customer versus the number of engagement that they receive? So we'll include the ID, count of engagement that they received. So as you can see here, even though Justin, the highest sales, only received around 34 engagement, he still purchases a lot. Unlike, let's have something here, maybe there's something like this one, this two, for example. They have around most of the highest engagement, 49 and 45, but still they are far below with regards to the total number of sales or the total sales that we've got. Although it's very helpful that they've received those engagement, but as you can see, it doesn't correlate that um that the higher the engagement, the higher the sales that we will be getting. So I think this is more helpful for Janet to know how the engagement impact the total sales for the company. So we need the comparison between the sales and the engagement. So let's add some background here. So we'll try to add a supporting uh, analysis later also on the last visual that we will be creating. Maybe some a little smaller because we still have this scatter chart, scatter plot. So we don't need this titles again. I don't know why they add that. I kept on turning this off on all of my projects. I don't like that because it's already because we already have the legend. Then we'll turn off the title and the background. What else? The colors. How do we use the colors? So we'll use same color scheme. So we'll use the sales as this one and maybe this one for the engagement. Let's send it to the back so that we can see how it looks. Okay. Oops. Then what else? Maybe we'll use a lot brighter color so it will contrast. It's the same as this one. Same color. It's the neutral one. And rename as total sales. And this is engagement. Oh, we forget to make it white. Then what we can do here is add a slicer for the engagement stages or type. Same here. We also have those engagement stages. So we'll turn off the header. Then what else? Background. And let's change the color of the items. Font color is white. Background is violet. Yes. And let's copy this one. But just to limit the space, so we already have this selections in here. We can do this as one of the slicers. So we can move it around here for the meantime. Then we will assign some bookmarking, but we'll do that after we create all the elements. After we include all the visuals, I mean. So for now, we'll just rename this as sales versus engagement. Now for the last visual, so we have here scatter plot. So we have here now he compares the total sales versus the engagement here, but I don't know how he classifies the engagement value. Is it by the number of engagement uh, each customer received? Is the engagement value pertaining to the customers or the impact of the engagement? I don't know, but what I can think of is to modify it again. So let's see. We will also use this one, but instead of the engagement value as our x-axis, we'll create another measure, which is the click-through rate. So I think we are familiar with it, especially here in YouTube. Click-through rate was one of the metrics for the YouTube channels. So what does it brings? So the formula of it, click-through rate is equals to the total number of clicks. So divide the total number of clicks versus the total number of engagement. So we don't have that total number of engagement as one of the measures. So we can just count the total ID in the customer email table, which is the engagement. So it's the percentage of the total number of clicks versus the total number of engagement. So I think it's the same as this. Let's see. Yeah, it's the same. It's the 12.4. So this is the click-through rate, which we can also use as one of our key metrics. And the other one was the open rate, which is also this one. Total number of open versus the total number of engagement. Clicks. Okay. For this scatter, oh, what happened with my scatter plot? For the scatter plot, we can get the x-axis as the click-through rate and the total number of sales, total sales as our y-axis. Now for the uh, comparison, we can add our customer information for the legends. So how do we interpret this kind of chart? So let's take um, a pen. How do we? Yes. So as we can see, portion of this one has a low click-through rate, meaning they didn't click. Had they click, have a lower percentage of clicking the emails or the engagement that they receive, meaning they either just ignore it, open it, and um, just didn't do any action to be redirected to the website or to the shopping site of the company to purchase some services and some products. But as we can see, some of the lower rates for this have a high number of purchases. And most of this who has a higher click-through rate doesn't give us a higher total number of sales. So I don't think that there's a correlation between how the engagement is going, how we are doing the engagement versus the increase in number of sales. So what we can do here is copy this background again. But we need to retain the white background because we won't see some of the elements. So let's try. If we remove the background. I think it's good also. Now this is the engagement analysis, I think. It's only the click-through rate. Maybe click-through rate conversion. Now, as I'm saying a while ago, we can use these circles as our slicers. So instead of using this, as we already have this, we'll just use this as the slicers. But as I've seen, based on this, a slicer for the whole dashboard doesn't make sense. So we'll just use this slicer to be affecting this visual. So let's remove those, my proposal before of using this as slicer, because it doesn't make sense. But it makes sense here. If we check on this, how many engagement has been delivered compared to the number of sales? How does it compare? As you can see, they have delivered majority of their emails, but the top 5 here have a low or under a 10 number of engagement that has been delivered to them. But if we check the open, how many emails have they opened? So as you can see for this one, he doesn't open the email, but he was one of the top sales, top customers. I mean, let's see the click-through rate. Same. This is a low click-through rate, but he was part of the top customers. So Janet can analyze that most of the engagement that has high click-through rate doesn't corresponds to a larger number of sales. So let's limit this one. do this visual only. I don't know any shortcut yet on how to do that, but as you know, we'll do this one by one for each element. But if you know how to do that and exclude all the others for from affecting on from this slicer, please comment down below so that you can share your knowledge with the viewers also. So that's where the naming really matters, because it's easier to navigate if we have named each element properly. So minimize. Oh, so basically you already know how to do that. So maybe we'll skip this one so that we won't waste any time. And we have been already finished. So let me get through it for now. And let's see. It's hard on this visual because we have too much little gap on each other, and especially with this small cards. So I think we're already good on this one. We've tried to analyze and replicate the dashboard that we've seen on the second challenge from the Enterprise CNA. And I think and hope that you have learned something new from this report. Oh, before I forgot, I should have had the date slicer. But anyway, it's just a slicer that we can add manually. But anyway, thank you for watching this video and hope that you will watch and learn more with the other videos that I had. So thank you. Bye bye.